Alright, hey guys, it's me again, and today I got an Octavia build for you guys. This idea came from my Discord when we were talking about armor strips the other night, and if you ever didn't like the ramp up on Octavia's 1, or just wanted to make Octavia more deadly, then this is the build for you. We're replacing the anti-synergy of her 2 with Rest and Rage, specifically Rage. What Rage does is increases the enemy's speed, but also increases the damage they take, similar to Speed Nova, but it's almost impossible to build for an Equinox, but it fits Octavia perfectly. With the Augment Calm and Frenzy, that allows Rage to spread on kill, and since they shoot faster, they ramp up the damage on your one a lot faster, especially when applied to heavy units. Now in the footage it's kind of hard to see because I had a white energy color, but I switched to red just so you can see the spreading, and I basically have 100% uptime on Rage. It's like a duration ability now, and the only time I'll lose it is if there's a nullifier outside of my range, but even then they aren't much of a problem. Now what I didn't know is Octavia's 1 actually does pure blast damage. I thought it did impact personally, but since it's pure elemental, you need to watch out for Arson and Arctic Eczema, as if their auras combine, your mallet won't do any damage at all. So I'd recommend you have a weapon that does radiation on hand. I was using a radiation Lado Vandal to quickly deal with them. Now I guess it's kind of cheating since I'm in Mott and enemies deal 3 times damage, so I decided to try this on Sedna, and it was a bit slower at first, but once the heavy units showed up, it went by a lot faster. Though the grineer AI is awful, I caught a lot of units just not firing. Some of their faces were in boxes, and a lot of them were just getting staggered constantly, making them also not fire. But even with all those problems, I felt like this build was better in the long run since I don't take nearly as long to ramp up my damage, therefore I'm not punished as much when the duration ends. Alright, so here's the build. Originally I opted for more of a duration build, just like Octavia normally would build for, and it was okay, but my debuff wasn't nearly as high, and I wanted to get it higher, so what I did was I dropped narrow-minded and I opted for more strength, and that ended up working better. I have a better multiplier on Mallet, I have a way better debuff, and I think the speed increase is similar to that of a Speed Nova already, right? And of course it spreads. And I also thought I'd need more efficiency than this because, you know, I thought I was going to be casting my 2 a lot, but actually no, you don't cast it nearly as often as you think. So I just have Streamline, I have Arcane Energize, and also I have Xeneric Focus School on, right? I don't really use this that often, but for this build, I feel like it's a must because if Octavia loses all her energy and can't cast her powers anymore, Octavia's dead. So literally no reason not to use it, and a very good way of countering those energy leeches. And while I thought the duration was gonna be really bad, it's not that bad. Once you get used to it, I think you'll like it more than your standard Octavia build that's just full duration. But just give this a try. But I'll just show you what it's like. As far as my weapons go, I'm just using Fulman just because. And I was originally just threw on the Lado also just because I didn't even know I had radiation on it, but honestly just use the Nucor or something just so you can deal with those Arson and Arctic Eczemas when they combine their auras just to make themselves immune to your damage. That's a good thing to use. And I also have a Pure Toxin Stropha, and this is for nullifiers. I just don't worry about the shields, just hit them in the head and they die. This also helps with glass enemies too, so keep that in mind. But let me just show you the performance of this build. Let me go invisible first. Right, you gotta do the teabag. Alright, spawn those heavy gunners in. Right, they're gonna start shooting and deep. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wrong appearance. Right, I also forgot to mention that you need to switch your emissive color in order for you to get the different day or night version of Rest and Rage. If you have a dark emissive color, you have Rest. If you have a bright one, you have Rage. So you also need to make a brand new fashion frame for this. So just that's something to keep in mind. Just teabag real fast. Alright, pick up an energy orb. And just gonna boost it. Since they shoot way faster now, they're just gonna ramp up that damage like crazy. Just debuff her. But yeah, it deals with them very quickly, as you guys can see. And even though I don't have near as much duration as I'd like to on Octavia, it's still fine. It works. Now, as far as my song goes, so let me just pull up my Manticore. This one's by D-Nexus. I'll have a link to it in the description below. But basically, it's one where you can just use for damage, where you have like a note on every single part of the metronome, alright? And if you don't want to annoy your teammates, just turn all your volume down. But yeah, if you want Octavia to be more deadly, then I think you'll like this build a lot, right? It doesn't take a whole long time to build up the damage to be just crazy levels. So yeah, anyway guys, that's all from me. I thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.